What's up, nerds? We've got an interview, an extra part of the podcast this evening. We are, of course, broadcasting from Industrial Cigar Company in beautiful Frisco, Texas, one of our favorite homes to do the podcast. And this evening, I'm sitting here with Taylor Turnbill, who is the hybrid sales guy for Ironroot Distillery. Taylor, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me, Larry.
So I'm going to start this off by the most basic thing. Tell us a little bit about Ironroot, where they are, how they started, what's their story?
Awesome. So Ironroot Republic is a small family-owned craft distillery out of Denison, Texas. They will be in year 12 of this year. Started by two brothers and their lovely mother. And they've made it 12 years, winning a couple of awards along the way and not grounding each other into the ground. It's been great.
How did you begin your association with Ironroot?
Unironically, as a fan. So whenever they released one of their first single barrels from the distillery, once I kind of started my bourbon journey, I found them and kind of just fell in love with the family and the brand. And
where are they located?
They are out of Denison, Texas.
Denison, okay.
Yes, sir.
And you said they've been around for about a dozen years?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, we drink a lot of whiskey on this show, as you probably know.
I've heard.
Yeah. Stick around for 5 minutes. You'll find out. What I want to know is, in your opinion, now I'm speaking to you now as a bourbon lover, not as a representative of Ironroot. In your opinion, what differentiates Ironroot from the other Texas whiskeys out there?
A lot of it has to do with kind of our background. So Denison is actually the sister city to Cognac, France. So most of our distillers, Robert and Jonathan both, and Marcia to an extent, did study under a 10th generation cognac maker.
Wow.
So they instilled a lot of those French cognac distillation techniques and kind of what they did with how they wanted to represent art with their product. So you get a little bit more of the nuances and the touches. It just kind of makes it a little bit different, and that's probably where we're starting with that.
Did they go to France, or did the French guys come here? Like, how did that
Both.
work? Really?
Yes. So,
man.
So when they started out, Rob was finishing his last semester of college and, of course, had a great epiphany that he was finishing up law school. In his last semester, that great epiphany that everybody has, that you just did all this time in college. And
I don't want to do law?
Right. So the best part about it was, as a former troublemaker myself, is you are really good about picking the timing of when you want to tell your parents. Mm-hmm. He elected to do it on Christmas dinner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Let's have a little drama.
Yeah, according to Marcia, she said once the earth kind of stopped shaking and she had a really good swig of the really beautiful red wine that she had in her glass, it was just the conversation of, they had kind of danced around the idea of, as a fun retirement thing to do, would be doing something like a winery or making beer or doing whiskey. Uh-huh. And it just kind of was the long pause. Her husband, Big John, is kind of the heart and soul and the big joker of everybody. He was like, well, you're going to make that distillery? Is that what you're going to do? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. And of course, the follow-up was, well, great. Well, outside of drinking the whiskey, do you know how to make it? And they said, no. And It started the journey that they all kind of went on together. So Robert started to go look around on the West Coast, dry fly, just looking at smaller craft distilleries. They went around Kentucky looking and studying, and they were lock in step with Marcia, their mom. So they, it's kind of a cool little story that, the family all just kind of went together. Jonathan, wouldn't let his brother go start a distillery without him. And that's the heart of what kind of makes Ironroot so different. It was there was a really kind of cool little road that they didn't know where they were going to go on. But they just know that they were going to go together.
So I'm a little curious about, though, because the whole tie-in to France is fascinating to me, right? And I want to explore that a little bit because I want to, did someone in the family go, oh, wait, our sister city is France, or is this place in France? They do cognac. Maybe we should go learn from them? Or what was the impetus for that?
So they toured around a bunch of different places. So they went to Kentucky, did the bourbon trail, stuff like that. And of course, the entire way, those Kentucky guys were like, listen, distillery, great. Distillery, expensive. Really should think about this. So they kind of started landing on some of the craft distilling and stuff like that. And then Robert took a class about cognac distillation with his gentleman named Hubert Romain Germain. He's the 10th generation cognac maker. And they just kind of fell in love with that, and they kind of went down this really awesome rabbit hole, and they actually got to go to Cognac and distill and learn how to do that stuff and learn the history with that. So it was kind of more of in a way, a happy discovery that they kind of found as hey, we love this. And then Robert actually went to Austin College out in the Sherman area. So when they were trying to find a space to set up and kind of do where they wanted to do the distillery, one of his old professors reached out and said, hey, why don't you come up to Denison And it just kind of worked out that, hey, we really fell in love with cognac making. Oh, great. It's also the sister city to Cognac France. This just kind of worked out in a really beautiful way.
So we're gonna do what they do, except we're gonna do whiskey.
Correct.
Oh, that's so fascinating. All right, so Taylor, tell me about this bottle that is sitting on the table right now.
Awesome. This will actually be our Ironroot Promethean. This is going to be our 100 proof offering that we do as a bourbon. It's grain to glass Texas pot still, kind of incorporating some unique heirloom corns that kind of go into that as well.
Talk to me a little bit about pot still. What does that mean for our viewers out there?
So pot still, traditionally there are two different types of stills when it comes to whiskey making, either pot still or column still. Column still is pretty common in Kentucky. Pot still, you'll see that with cognac distillation, single malt whiskey, a little bit of Irish whiskey, things like that. Mm-hmm. In a nutshell, column still allows you to kind of run continuously. Pot still kind of is able to kind of have a little bit of high heat, do its thing, and kind of have a control a bit more of the mouthfeel off of the pot still.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if you can read this on camera, but this particular bottle that we're going to be trying is got a signature on it. It's got some signatures on it. So tell me who signed and what's the deal there?
So that was actually signed by Mama Marsha. She's actually known. She's lovingly raised the two boys that kind of did the distillery. She's our distillery manager. She kind of makes sure that we're all on the straight and narrow, not going too crazy when we don't need to be. But she's also lovingly known as the mother of Texas whiskey. But yeah, we signed the bottle for you guys.
That's
thank
awesome.
you for having us on the podcast.
Thank you very much. And so, tell me about Ironroot's futures as we wrap this up. Like, what's on the horizon for you guys?
We're actually in the middle of a really cool kind of a transition from this bottle into some new packaging. We've been doing some.
Oh, you're changing the packaging.
We are actually.
Okay.
Yes. So we're actually going to be doing a kind of a nice new kind of called a nice looking little facelift. It looks really, really great. We're doing that. We're kind of still working on slow controlled growth and making sure that we're still just doing the best we can to put our good foot forward.
Where can our viewers get Ironroot right now?
You can get Ironroot in 38 different states, 4 countries, in the DFW area, predominantly Total Wine and Spec. Some local independents like Grapes and Grain and Bethany Discount Liquors are some of our big local spirits, and Salina is also a good supporter of us as well. Tricks of the Trade in Fort Worth, Liquor Library, those guys out that way. We're very blessed to have some really, really good local independent owners that are actually willing to.
Sounds like you've been hustling, bud.
I'm trying to keep up with my coworker. My other counterpart that works with us, her name is Nellie Hill. She's also kind of big haunt up here at ICC, but she's kind of laid a really good groundwork of good tone setter she is. We're all just trying to keep up with her.
Well, thanks for being on the program, man. Guys, this is Taylor Turnbill of Ironroot Distillery, and can't wait to break open that bottle. That's going to be so much fun. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Yeah.
See you, nerds.